It's time to say, hey guys, hey guys, hey guys, welcome aboard to Just Tai Now Side Tai Livestream with your host Tai T-A-A-I, not T-H-I, like the food. Hopefully you're having a wonderful morning, evening, night, midnight, special, whatever time this is coming at you. Take this energy and we all in the same boat. We can start this conversation. Yes, guys, yesterday was a full moon in Virgo. So that was, if y'all got the hopefully y'all got to get your personal rituals and your personal studies going into yourself and doing what you had to do in order to take full advantage of all that energy that was being radiated from that awesome mother. But I wound up staying up late last night. I don't know if y'all got anything on Satire Podcast. All of this does not promote the use of illegal or legal drugs. What you do with your body is what you do with your body. I'm just going to talk about my personal experiences. Do not recreate any of these things. This is for documentary mineral purposes, mentary purposes, for real. But yeah. So yesterday was the full moon, and the sun is in Pisces and things like that. But yesterday, and just in my personal reality, I was up. I was up around like 2 o'clock at night, from 2 to like 5 at night, guys. It was something because I wanted to be tired. I really desperately wanted to be tired, and I didn't want to smoke myself tired. I didn't want to yeah, I didn't want to smoke myself tired like I usually do. So I was just up. I was just up. So I was going through it. This is all, if you want to throw it in there, because I probably put this at the title. This is about third eye awakening, Kundalini awakening, the Thai, having this kind of conversation. I really want to put my own terms on these things because when people hear Kundalini, they probably make up their own suspect about it. But for me, it's just dealing with the energy of yourself and of your spine and of your organs and bodies and all of that, and focusing in on your breathing and meditation practice. Just the different forms of meditation out there. But yesterday was pretty dope because, like I said, I couldn't go to sleep. But so I was saying I was up meditating, and eventually I just started feeling the need to say, I want to turn the TV off and things like that. And to keep this all funny, I've been watching videos. Well, I'm not been watching, but I just ran across a couple videos on YouTube with these weird ass titles saying, "Don't open your eye at 3 a.m." or "Problems opening your third eye" and things like that. And it was pretty fake. It was pretty fake. The ones that had the millions of views and them like saying, "All right, it's 3:33, guys." And they had a dot on there. It's 3:33, guys. All right, should I go back in? Oh, it's opening back up. I see demons. What's going on? And it was because some good comedy, but it was fake. It was fake. And then for y'all YouTubers, we on the Instagram. We on the Instagram. Let's fade into different realities. Hold on, wait. But yeah. Hey, what's going on, Meech? I'm talking about this weird experience I had, well, opening experience I had. And if you like just getting on the path, is you just take it how it is. I'm just going to talk about how I felt last night. So I was just up, and I was just up. And yeah, that's why I'm trying to backtrack. I was watching these crazy videos about opening your third eye at 3 a.m. And me, I'm like, your third eye is always open. Like, what are these people talking about? But it is something because each day and hour is ruled by a planet. A planet and everything. And, you know, the planets have their own energies that they push out. So I believe it is something about 3 a.m. and just being aware of what planets is in the sky at that Pacific time, and something about the 3s, the 6s, and the 9s. Know that, like Tesla and I'll be saying, if you know that, then you understand the secrets of the universe and things like that. So I was just up at 2, and I was like, man, I'm not going to play myself. Cause I was like, I wanted to take a little shroom too. I was like, I really want to dive deep into this, but I got to wake up early in the morning. So I don't know if I should take this shroom right now and be up for like 6 hours. So I said, I'm going to go deep into myself and just by myself with some good old Mary Jane. So it was me and Mary Jane, 2:30, approaching 3 o'clock. I said, all right, I might as well just meditate, like take advantage of this residual energy that's in the air. But everybody was asleep. I felt the need to turn off the music. I mean, turn off the TV. I turned on some just calm frequency music going on. I don't even know what hertz it was playing at. I just typed in relaxing music. But as I was going deeper and deeper, I'm telling you guys, the deeper you, I know I say some most of the time, meditation is not just going and sitting. I mean, sitting down in one spot for hours upon hours, but sometimes that is the way to do it. Sometimes that is the way to go, especially when you don't want to become dependent on psychedelics to get you to a certain point. So I'm meditating a half hour pass. It's about like 320 approaching 3:30. I'm still in meditation, not checking the phone or nothing, because I was like, man, I don't care about that 3:33. I just want to feel a change in myself, because it feels though I was approaching a lot of things was coming out during these sabotage live streams. Like I say, these sabotage live streams and Just Tai now things are for me as well, because I go through things in my mental plane and things, and it comes out when I'm just like, this is what therapy looks like, as well as knowing having a step ahead and being able to present things as well. I'm not just all broken and dark and all that stuff inside. I'm pretty chill. I'm pretty chill and cool, but still I'm not floating, so it's still things I gotta work on in myself. So anyways, I was clearing out a lot of things, and I was approaching I was approaching a step where I was saying to myself, instead of saying I'm sitting here trying to reach a certain state, it was a click in my mind that said I don't. It was weird because it was a click. It was a click as if I was on a little microdose. So I guess playing with the nighttime hours and playing with the moon, like being able to reach a state of. I'm trying to break this down as much as I can, because it wasn't just a leap, but it was a stepping stone, a stepping ladder or whatever. Because once you there for a while, I start hearing music playing in my head, and it'll be the same like four bars over and over and over and over. Like it's I listened, just to be real, because I can't make this up. It was a song, the Neo song, just let me love you and I will love you until you learn to love yourself. That song been going through my head for 5 days. I don't listen to Neo. It popped in my head. I said, let me just listen to this song one time on YouTube. Played it out loud, sung it, and then it's been stuck in my head ever since. And sometimes I can drown it out, play some other stuff, but it seems as though when I'm not thinking about where, if I'm moving left, if I'm moving right, if I gotta get up, is my back straight, if I gotta do this and that, the music just starts playing. And I believe that's another layer of our mind that's creating our reality. So then I came to a point where I said, no, I want to play the drum to my own life. I want to beat the drum to my own life, because I was coming to a sense that this song is talking for me, and it's creating events in my life of making me think of, oh, of desperation, love, and all this other things that I already been over before. So I was so then, but then as well, I take songs at not face value. At the if I did take face value, then I'll be lost in the sauce. But instead of, I started seeing that song twisting around as, instead of me externalizing it as pushing it on to somebody else, like, hey, let me just love you until you learn to love yourself. It started switching around to this other sense of something of me wanting to love myself. And just say, hey, let me love you until you learn to love yourself. And I've been playing that for a while, but it really came to the realization that that's why that song was in my head, and that's why I kept playing. Like, hey, I'm here. Stop acting like you're just little old me existing in this thing. Like I'm here helping you. I'm controlling you. I started looking at myself as like this AI, this artificial and this biological artificial intelligence that lives on Earth, but is being controlled by me somewhere else, and me is making all of this. So I started using the term I think I went over this before in another podcast, but This is what was happening yesterday under the full moon at 3. At 3 o'clock. And but so I got past the music layer, and then I started getting into this I am doing this, or I am breathing, or and then it started switching around, like I'm not just breathing, I am breathing, I am breath, I am going in and out. And it started with the breathing techniques as well. I found that me breathing in and out of my nose was kind of keeping me in my thinking. It wasn't letting me relax enough. So I started breathing as much as I can in, and then breathing out into my mouth. And I was able to like get a lot out of my chest cavity, as well as my like upper abdomen and stuff. So it was really like I was exhaling all of my oxygen and then breathing it back in. And then just on a funny note, I said, let me open my eyes or something real quick as I was reaching that. And I opened my eyes and I said, let me check this phone, even though I didn't really want to because I didn't want the light to shock me out of whatever I was in. And it was 3:33. It was 3:33. When I re-edit this video with the green screen and stuff, I'll show you the screenshot and everything. And I was like, oh, let me just take the screenshot. 3:33. I was like, oh, cool. This is all real. And that's what it seems that I was coming to terms with, that I play myself a lot. I play myself a lot. And we all play ourselves a lot. We all play ourselves a lot. But what I mean by that is it's another voice of something that's more powerful than the questions that I ask, if that makes any sense. It's something that I'm aware that we all become aware of, but what I was becoming aware of even more last night, of the power over the questions. And like, don't you know, like when you go meet that wizard in the cartoons and movies like that, and they say, "Oh, you come with a lot of questions," and they just gotta exist and but don't make sense at first. It's like, what do you mean? And then like there you go asking more questions. Like, what you just don't know yet. It was like I was getting in touch with my part of myself that was like, I am this, I am that. And the posturing of my body and stuff was becoming very important, and things like that. I was squaring my chest, poking it out, letting as much air get in as possible. And I felt myself doing what term do people use? Mudras. But yesterday I said I'm just gonna call them Naruto hand signals, Naruto hand signs. So I started like going like this, connecting different spaces, and it felt like I was on top on top of the earth, meditating on sitting on the earth like this, and it was just in signals just going out of my arm. But instead of just like envisioning it, like saying, "Oh yeah, well this is what you do," when you meditate, it was like, no, this is what I am doing so I can achieve this, or so that I can get these wires out of my fingers to go out into the universe. Like, instead of it me seeming like I'm making up, imagining it, it was me being in the first perspective of, I am doing this. This is what is going on. And I like was moving around and stuff and going like this. So, and then it was some other things. I don't know. I don't know. It was cool. It was a dope night. It was a dope night. It was a Tai, Tai night. It was a night where I was combining my mind, my heart, everything. And I was just letting whatever came out to myself just come out. And that was another thing. Pain. I was talking about pain to myself. Hey, what's going on, Rich Steve? Hey, thanks for coming in. I'm trying to well, I'm on the Instagram and I'm on the Facebook at the same time. Finally got a phone. But what I was going through with pain, I was reaching apart after a while because I was going through a meditation for about 2 hours, and it felt like about 50 minutes. And the other thing that was coming to my mind was for me to grasp onto the first thing that I think about that comes to my mind, instead of thinking about it and saying something else. Like, I have this whole process that sometimes goes on in my head. What's going on? Hashtag Just Tai. Hey, I'm talking about yesterday, the full moon, me meditating at 3 o'clock till around 5 o'clock, what I'm getting into now. And it felt about like just 40, 50 minutes. And I was getting in touch with my first thought of thinking, and it seems like when I'm not in touch with that first thought of thinking, it gets layered through what I was saying, the song layer, whatever song is playing in my head, and then after that is just like a worry, but more of a worry of what am I doing? Am I moving left? Am I moving right? Am I playing this game right now? Am I watching TV, walking around, like whatever the physical thing is? But I was yeah, in touch with my first thoughts. So like that's what it, and it seemed like that's where more of my power was, and more of my power was in my first thoughts more than me thinking about it. It allowed me to relax a lot more. I felt happy. It was like literally I kept cheesing, and at certain points I was like, oh, this is what I wanted, this is what I was looking for, this is what I was kind of trying to get. I had just had a sense of satisfaction. Not even I was getting trying to get that, but I just had huge senses of satisfaction, like as if I was tripping. So breathing, and all these hints was coming to me too as well. All these hints of like I was reading something about, I think it was UL or somebody else on the Discord, on True Life Discord. He was talking about how he was practicing a him gin. Oh, that's corny. No, I'll get them back online. Phone died on the Instagram. But what was going on?
Something went wrong. Please try again.
Yeah, something did go wrong. I will try again. But yeah, I was just in touch with the with more of the creator aspect of who I was. I don't know, like I was in the director's seat. All these little cliche terms we like to use. I was in the director's chair, and it felt cool. It felt cool, and it was something just to skip the pain while I was on my head, and I probably skip around. The story is all around, but I was tying about pain, and I was thinking of tying about pain because my legs was going through something, because I was doing different stretches, but I didn't want to take my legs out the cross-legged position. I just wanted it to stay how it was. So my legs were starting to feel some tension, and my hips were starting to feel some tension. But I didn't want to release that tension because it felt like the mind expansion that it was giving me, so to speak, was worthwhile. So I went into this thing about pain and how I get trapped up in pain, and the world gets trapped up in pain, and pain exists in this world, but most people don't enjoy pain because of how unprepared we have been for when pain comes. Pain is only there to come about change, or else things will stay the same. Y'all hear those movies and stuff or books where they say a perfect utopia, and they say, but the people in the utopia, that so-called perfect utopia, they start so-called getting bored. I think that's relation to how things is on earth, how we is in our subconscious creative mind, whether we like it or not. Pain and things just is brought about to cause change, but we have to be riding that wave and not be so much against it, or we gonna get rushed over. So we gotta be surfing. We gotta be surfing, riding with it, and things like that. This is so funny what I'm doing with my hands, but we gotta be doing things like that. So I was learning to enjoy the pain, and that allowed me to go deeper into my stretches. I still allow my knees to give a break because I didn't want to hyperextend anything. But that was like a whole 20 whatever, and that was a whole long time later when that thought came to my mind. But it was cool. I started smiling again when I had that thought. I was like, hey, and I just was like, just like that. You know, y'all watch Infinite Waters when y'all hear Ruff just laugh like random, like when it's going off. Like that's just how I was feeling. And I was saying like, man, people can't really knock Ralph for saying the same thing over and over, even if it seemed cliche sometimes, because that's what he's existing in. That's literally what he existed in, and he's probably talking to himself so much more than he's talking to anybody else. And these are the things that's allowing him to have more power in the other probably extracurricular things that he wants to do. Just Tai, just Tai, just Tai. I was coming in because sometimes when I see people or when I do things, I have a pain that comes about in me because I'm like, yo, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Or this robot, or I don't know what to I can't really tie on it. I don't know. It's not coming to me right now. The exact exercise that torments me, used to torment me. But now I'm came to the conclusion that pain should be enjoyable because pain is freeing. Pain is to free you. And when you get caught up in the pain, then you get caught up in the hell. Then you have hell on earth and you see everything as bad in the future, everything and everybody is out to get you. So because that you still existed in that pain, and then that's it exist in the forms of the traumas and everything that I talk about. And you hear that gets attached on and just gets layered up and layered up and layered up and even more confusing until you run across plant medicines or you go to retreats for months and months and really be able to dive deep into the core of what's going on. My mom really hit me up. She's in therapy. I wouldn't really want to introduce her to a lot of things, but to each his own. She's signing up for, she's going to see a therapist right now, because kudos to her. And she was asking me, was she a good mom and things like that. And I was telling her about her generation and things, and she did so much more better than a lot of people that I was seeing around me, than my friends' parents and things like that. But it was still things that just because you existed in that generation didn't know, it just latched on to me. But I'm cool, I'm aware, I talk about these things to the world and we talk about these things to each other. So don't really put that as much of a burden on you. Just figure it, I want to say just figure things out. But I was like, yeah. So I brought that up for her because I was the pain, and remember I was talking about the amina and the animus, and how when men was not able to get the full satisfaction of love growing up from the mother, how it comes out. Y'all really gotta check out that Side Tai live stream. I'm not gonna tie too much into it right now, but it was at the end of the last Side Tai live stream. I was really diving deep into this, the Carl Jung philosophy and everything. But it damages them, and for the female, it can be the dad, and also their mom as well. The mom as well can work both ways. So I was going into that, and I was like, I'm glad I had that conversation, that things are progressing. So now I was able to see this pain is freeing. I was able to see it because everything correlates. Everything that you talk about, everything that you go through correlates to yourself. And I was saying a lot of us try to go outside of ourselves to help ourselves. But in that moment around like 4 o'clock or something, and I was in infinite time around that time. I'm gonna stop trying 3D things. I was in infinite reality, and I was just flowing. So I was able to see that you have to go inside yourself and not go outside yourself. Everything exists inside of you. Everything outside of you is illusion. Like literally. Everything exists inside of you. When you're looking outside, you're literally looking inside. Everything that is down is up, and what is up is down. And I started smiling and cheesing after that realization came to my head too. I never turned back on the phone. That's all good. But
catch up next time.
I was learning that the pain is freeing. And when you start and since the pain is always happening for change in this reality, you have to enjoy it. And the more you enjoy that pain, the more you're literally enjoying life to the fullest. I was watching Mike Tyson talk to Terry Crews. And these are two big black men, big, strong black men who were angry, who had aggressive fathers growing up. They were talking about that. Terry Crews' dad was abusive to his mom all the way up until Terry Crews kicked his dad ass as an adult, and then looked at his dad crying, saying, please stop hitting me. And then he said to himself, this is what I wanted all my life, to get revenge, but I'm not satisfied with this. I'm not satisfied with this. After all of those years, and Mike Tyson, he tried dimethyltryptamine check out the Joe Rogan podcast and everything, where he was talking about how now people don't recognize him. People don't really recognize who he was as that Iron Mike and things like that. Like people, it really is a change. It really is a big change going on. Yep. And it's so easy to take part of it. That's why I'm sharing this story. Because you can do the same thing. And it don't even have to be 3 o'clock in the morning. What's going on, Duke? I'm trying to set this foam up so it can stop freaking falling. Alright, yeah. But that's what was happening. That's what was happening. I was learning that the pain, once you started existing in the pain and knowing that that pain is not there to trap you and create a hell, and that pain is there to free you, then that's what it's all about. That's what this fucking life is all about. Enjoying that pain, existing in it, and knowing that it's going to change you into something unstoppable. Those thoughts that you all have in your head, because you went through those change, those planets, all those oppositions, your natal chart was working, trying to get you to oppose things. Once you bring that all together, then that's when all your thoughts are able to finally flood through. And then you'll be the Superman. You'll be the whatever it is in your realm of reality that's like cause you to toughen up to puff out your chest, square your shoulders, and can walk with your eyes forward and not down, and not really looking up, fantasizing about what could be and how it is, and all it is getting lost in that Neptune energy. But be careful though. It is Pisces right now, so we're gonna be feeling real intuitive right now. Real intuitive. The sun is moved from Aquarius, moved this monkey self off, as Flight Boss say, into Pisces. Ruled by Neptune, and that's like one of the outer planets dealing with intuition and everything. And the moon is in Virgo, so that full moon that was there last night had a lot to deal with grounding and being able to move on this earth. Virgo is mutable earth. So that's a big thing. So it's not like Capricorn that can be kind of stubborn and things like that, but is able to move on this earth and able to relate. My sister is a Virgo, so she's a pretty cool girl. So I know this, y'all know what I'm talking about. Just Tai. Just think about these things, bros. Just think about these things, because the more experiences I'm going through, the more layers is being stripped away, where I'm not able to lie to myself about what is going on. What is going on around me. And it's beautiful, and I accept it, and I just tie. So guys, if y'all got any questions, anything y'all want to say, I'm here right now. Boom. But we're going to be having some fun on this channel. But I want to keep this video like how this is right now. And if I go back in, yeah, they're going to be talking out loud again. But that's the thought process that I just want to act, that's what I'm talking about, that I just want to move in. So instead of talking, I'm just like, or the words just come out that match that pattern of thinking that I talk about. So the silence is golden. Silence will cause you to become gold. Just Tai. Alright. We all tie. But do we really tie? Sometimes I don't know, dude. Sometimes I really don't know. Till next time, check us out on the Instagram. Thanks if you're on Instagram. Thanks for tuning in. Check out the Facebook. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification for more. And I'll catch y'all on the Tai Side.